Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday's installment of Through the Hermit's Door. This only means one thing. The Hermit has opened his door for all of you to come and enter and see what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so it's a wonderful one of my favourite subjects to talk about. And what I will do, as always, at the end, I will shuffle the cards and see what is coming up. Okay, and I don't know what they're going to be. These are just beautiful word cards, amazing images. I might paint some of these actually. Oops. Yeah, I'm sorry, half of them just fell on the floor then. I might paint some of these and then maybe just post them and see what you think. But Through the Hermit's Door, what is it going to be about today? It's all about the power of gratitude. Okay, now we've all heard it before, like the more grateful you are, the more you get, this, that and the other, but it's so much more than that. Gratitude is its own amazing energy system, and it's almost like if gratitude was a wheel. You're here, you get in the car, and the gratitude is the wheel to get you going to where all that heavenly glory, all the stuff you want to start seeing, all the money, all the relationships, the beautiful home, whatever's important to you, whatever you are working towards, it's all obtainable. Everything is obtainable. And the wonderful thing about these videos, they all do link. They all do, because it's about energy, they all do have that energy link. Like Let and Go, for example, get into the heart energy. The more you get into those energies, those frequencies, the more you're going to start seeing things on an external basis, as well as actually more importantly, how you feel on the inside. But gratitude isn't just about saying thank you when someone passes you something. It's a deeper science, and it's been proven that the more grateful you are, the more you get. Okay, the more you give away, the more you get back. And that doesn't mean to say if you've got £5 and that's all you got and somebody wants £5, you give it away. It's nothing like that. But if you don't need stuff, if you don't need I don't know, say you've got loads of clothes and half of them you never wear, that if you gave half of them away, you've created space for a start, but you'll get it back in some other way as well. Not that we give to receive, but that sense of gratitude, of feeling good also when you do something like that, knowing that, say for example, if you gave it to a clothes bank or a charity shop, somebody else is like that and thought, oh yeah, I want this, and you don't know actually that they could have manifested that themselves. I think I need something that looks like this, go into a shop, and then they see it because you're part of that wonderful cog. Okay, so gratitude, you could be in any situation. You could have literally what you consider to be nothing. You could be in a job you hate. You could be on a salary you hate. You could be in a relationship you don't like, or not in a relationship. And you think, what is there to be grateful for? I cannot see anything that I consider myself to be lucky for, or I'm not grateful for this because it hasn't worked out the way that I thought, whatever that is for you. Okay, but it's, when I say there's so much more, is because the underlying energy, the underlying magic of gratitude is waiting to be activated. Okay, I will go into a little thing you can do towards the end of this video, just to give yourself a little test if you want, just to see how it all plays out for you. But if I could teach just one thing, it would be gratitude. And even in my personal tarot readings that I give people, my teachings in my classes, I always say list something you're grateful for, because that's where it all starts. If we go back and think, okay, say in your situation, what would you change in your situation right now? If it's your job, home, I don't know, you think of something. And how is your attitude towards that? Is the focus, I don't like this, why has this come to me, why am I in this situation? Then that's a place of lack. And what you're doing is, it's taking the negative and feeding the negative and making that so much more bigger. Like attracts like, remember? For the more you focus on, you're going to keep getting the same thing. And then we could look at somebody down the street, say a homeless person for example, but then subconsciously be glad that we're not in that situation. So there's always something to be grateful for. Always, 100%. If it's your health, you could say, I'm grateful for my health. People know about it, guys, when they thought everything was bad and then something went wrong with their health. Everything then didn't seem to be too bad. If it's money, have you got a roof over your head? Have you got food in your belly? It's breaking it all down to the small things that aren't actually that small and being present in that moment in the sense of gratitude. Gratitude is magic, but it's got to be authentic as well. It's got to be genuine. You've got to feel absolutely grateful. The more grateful you feel, the more you get. Trust me when I say that, because it's like a beautiful roller coaster. It takes a while to get up. When you get onto that top bit, and you're at the peak of how you feel, it's fast running from there. However you want to go, whatever direction you want to go in. But you have control of that. So gratitude, for me personally, I mean, when I first started the whole gratitude thing, this is years ago, I didn't really get it. And I would say, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, but I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling grateful because I wasn't in the position I wanted to be in. I was always in that I'll be happy Wednesday, or I'll be grateful when this comes in, I'll be grateful for when that comes in. But then what you're doing is you're not making things happen for the now, because your mind is always in the future. If you don't know what you want now, or if you're not grateful for what you want now, you're going to get wishy-washy type scenarios coming into your life, and it's going to be something or nothing. And the less we practice gratitude, when it does come in whatever shape or form, we might not necessarily recognize it, or we might not be grateful because it might not be exactly what we want. And then again, we're putting our mind into the future. 3 years down the line, you can look back and think, actually, I got everything that I asked for, but I wasn't present in that moment. And I never felt the need just to relax and be okay with everything that I had. So in your situation right now, in your moment, wherever you are, whatever you're doing with your life, however you think or whatever you feel, think of 3 things now that you're grateful for. Roof over your head, food in your belly, your mind, your thinking mind, the fact that you can think logically, the fact that you can think about the future things, the fact that you have a nice warm bed to get into, the fact that if you want, you can have a hot bath or a shower. These things seem like everyday things because we take them for granted. But when we switch up our thinking and actually be in the moment of generally being grateful, you're shifting your cellular memory. You're shifting your frequency. And I talk about frequency a lot, about raising your vibration. That will be another talk for another time. But the more you're generally grateful, you start to feel authentically happy. When you're authentically happy, your vibration, guys, is sky high. And when your vibration is sky high, that person you like starts to come in. They might message you. That job that you want, they might say, okay, it didn't work that time round, but we have another position. Or something better might come in as well. If you're in situations where you don't like who you work with, but you're happy with other things in your life, things will shift in ways that you can't even begin to imagine. Okay? So write it all down, and even if it's like somebody giving you a cup of coffee today, I'm grateful that so-and-so offered me a cup of coffee. Now that seems like such a small thing, doesn't it? But watch how retraining your mind to be grateful leads to genuine big things to be grateful for. That's the process. That's how it works. From small oaks and all that, you get from small acorns, you get really big oak trees. Something that's small, you'd never dream to get into that massive grand state that it is. And it's no different. If gratitude started off, it's the size of the acorn, and what you're grateful for is the size of the oak tree. That's the best way I can describe it. But this takes time, because the way our human mind works, the way our logical mind works, we get wrapped up in that day's energy. We get wrapped up in the energy of tomorrow before it's even happened, because we're anticipating something that might not have even happened yet, and thinking about how we feel if it's less than, and why do we feel this way. And once we identify that, of course it's important to understand why you feel. I mean, I don't advocate brushing things under the carpet. If you feel a certain way, acknowledge it. But if it's a state of moaning, if you're moaning about stuff, then you're keeping yourself in a frequency that's stagnant, and it's not going to move anywhere. When you get into the bed after a crappy day and you think, oh, I'm so grateful I'm in this bed, nothing can touch me now, I'm in this cocoon and I'm rebuilding my empire on a subconscious level, every moment is a new moment, and I am so grateful for that. You'll feel good. You'll start to feel good. When you get up in the morning, the first thing you think of is, oh God, is that going to happen today? Is this going to happen? Look at me, let me look at my bank statement. Is it going to depress me? Switch that up. If you look at your bank statement and it's nothing what you thought it would be, but at least I've got something. I'm grateful for that. I know more's coming in, and I'm grateful for that. I'm glad I got a good night's sleep. Well, if you didn't get a good night's sleep, well, at least I was somewhere where I was comfortable. I'm going to have a hot shower now. I'm going to have a hot bath. I'm grateful for that. I've got all things that are good. I've got all the things that are nourishing my body and my soul, and I'm grateful for that. You go outside and somebody annoys you. Well, that's their karma. But I'm grateful that I can identify that I'm not like that. The more you start to think like that, it's like you light your own energy up. And have you ever seen somebody who's always happy? Somebody who they might not seem, in your opinion, to have anything that's worth writing home about, but they're always happy. And you're always pleased when you see them, because that infectious energy rubs off on you. They, no doubt, are always in a constant state of gratitude. Being happy in the moment. Being grateful in the moment. You can look at two people. Somebody can seem like they have it all, but they're constantly moaning. And then somebody who can seem like they haven't got much, but always happy. Their energy frequencies are completely different. But does it matter about what they've got or what they haven't got? No, it doesn't. Because it's the quality of your life on a day-to-day basis. Who needs thousands of pounds if you're not enjoying the moment? Because that person guaranteed is going to get to 90 years old and think, I should have just enjoyed it. I should have just enjoyed it and been grateful. Because then it's all futile, everything. And if that person who's always happy gets to 90, they'll say, I lived my life and I knew it was worth living. And guaranteed there'll be something they'll always be happy for. Even if it's people just smiling at them because they're happy to see them. Imagine being that energy. What I started to do was journal my findings. This is what I do. I'm a Virgo. I write things down. I write lists. But this wasn't a list. This was like my own documents. And on a personal level, this is what I do. And I've got like years worth of documents. And it's interesting to look back, because you think, oh my gosh, I forgot I felt that way. And now that's manifested. And this is what happens. The more you start to get into manifestations, the more you start to be in the moment with gratitude, you'll look back at stuff and think, I forgot about that. I have it now. Or, it just advocates everything I believe in, because the universe works in amazing ways once I'm speaking to the universe and I'm open up to the universe. So this is what I started to do. I started to write it all down. Started off writing 5 things I was grateful for. And also what I did, when I did my bringing in list for a new moon, I still used gratitude in duality with that, because I feel the two go hand in hand. If you're asking for something, tell the universe what you're grateful for. Because otherwise it might just seem like a bit of a take. Even if it's by default, we don't realize we're doing it. So if you haven't done gratitude, if you haven't got into a conscious movement on a day-to-day basis with gratitude, try it for 21 days. Because that's how long it takes sometimes to reprogram the wiring in your brain. Your brain shifts in certain ways. It's almost like if you go down a path, that path is going to have grooves in it because it's always being used. And what you're doing is, when you shift your focus to what you always focus on, to shifting your focus to a state of gratitude, you're having to create a new path. And that's going to take time to get those grooves back in. And that's exactly what happens with all the neurons in your brain. So it's going to take a bit of work, which is why I say 21 days. Now, first thing in the morning and last thing at night are peak times, because how you think in the morning sets off your day. The first hour when you get up. And a little trick is, if you find it hard to get up and if you find it hard to face certain things, so when you're lying in bed, if you have your legs crossed, uncross your legs. Because when you uncross your legs, you're tricking your brain into thinking you've got to get up in a minute, which then in turn kicks in your momentum, which then in turn kicks in your that feel-good hormone, serotonin. So all these little links, okay? So if you're in bed and you're crossing your legs, or they're all like, curled up, you're less likely to start the day on a positive foot if you're overthinking while you're in bed first thing in the morning. So uncross your legs, look up at the sky, ceiling, and if you had dreams that night, just try and remember your dreams, but then get up. Write down then 3 things you're grateful for. I'm grateful I've woken up. I'm grateful I've woken up. I'm grateful I've got a cup of tea. I'm grateful I'm about to have a shower. And then see how your day starts to take shape. And then when you go to bed, list 5 things you're grateful for that day. Even if it's just how you feel. Do this for 21 days. And you will see a shift in your outlook. And when you see a shift in your outlook, the things around you start to change. You will see that positive shift in your relationships, even if it's the relationship you have with yourself. You will see that positive shift in your working environment, because what you're doing is you're creating your own gratitude empire, which is the building block to get to where you need to be. Remember I said about that wheel getting into the car, and that wheel needs to get going? This is exactly what it is. So if you don't know where to start on your spirituality journey, if you don't know, say, how to meditate, say meditation's not your thing, crystals aren't your thing, whatever that is, start with gratitude, because that is the one most powerful thing you could give to yourself. 21 days, write it all down. Get yourself a beautiful book. Get yourself something that you can look back on the pages and see how it's all manifesting. And also what you'll start to do is you'll be aware of, actually, you've got so much more to be grateful for than what you originally thought. That's good in itself. That will make you feel good. When we feel good, we get good experiences. And if you're in it for all the good experiences, then keep going with gratitude. It's a really simple exercise, but it's extremely powerful. Gratitude is key, guys, to get into where you want to be. And when we do have a new moon, you can write down in detail the things that you want to start seeing. And the only difficult thing with this is our human brain, our logical side, will try and justify things. We'll try and think, yeah, but this isn't going to happen, or how can that happen? How can I be grateful for this when this has happened? That's the little devil on your shoulder, and you need to flick that devil off and just stay in that white light energy. Everything is like, it's an umbrella. If you've got the umbrella up and you've got it, above your head, those negative energies it won't touch you. And 21 days, it's not long. And we're only in February. I know it's like nearly the end of February now. But by the end of, say, March, how you feel now, if you start to do it now, to how you feel at the end of March, you will see a shift. Just by gratitude, not doing anything else. See how you get on with that. It's very powerful. I've got some amazing stories about gratitude. Amazing. But we'll be here till 12 o'clock at night. And I don't think you want to listen to me talk that long, do you? So that's just food for thought. It's a nice one my guides gave me, and I think it's really important as well. These are all flying out. So one's flown out there. It was face up, so if it's face up, I read it. I'm just going to see if there's anything else. Is there anything else that is coming up? Yes. Look how this is coming up for you guys. You've got the future. You're creating your future there. You know, I said about those two paths, the path you've always gone down with those neurons, the way you're always thinking about stuff, your outlook, that's your future. Do you want to change it up, switch it up? Because it starts in here. And once you start to do that, you get the sun energy. All things good. The sun shines, your life will shine, you will shine, your energy, it will shine. The sun is extremely good. In tarot, it's expansion, growth, recognition, new beginnings. Beautiful. The future and the sun has come up there just by talking about gratitude. That's how powerful it is. The sun in tarot is a major arcana as well. So, a little bit about gratitude. Do it. Do your... That's not really bossy. Do it. Do it, guys. It's all free will. You can do what you want. But 21 days, what you're grateful for, first thing when you wake up, and write down what you're grateful for at the end of the day before you go to bed. 21 days. Listen to some meditative music when you're writing it. Get in the zone. Have a cup of tea. Enjoy that moment when you're writing it down. And see how you feel after 21 days. And see what's changed. You'll be surprised. Anyway, that is Through the Hermit's Door on Friday, and I will be doing Sunday General Tarot reading in the morning. I aim to do it in the morning, and also I will be revealing the competition winner to win half an hour tarot reading with me. So if you haven't seen that competition and you want to get involved, just pop your name down, just scroll down and you'll see it. Okay, so you take care, guys. Have a beautiful evening, have an amazing weekend, and I will see you as always in the next video. Take care.